Good afternoon. This is cause number 2021-10207 in the interest of Hayden Scabora. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, sir, please identify yourself and your relationship to the child.
I'm Andrew Joseph Scabora Jr., and I'm the paternal grandfather.
Okay, and counsel, your name and who you represent.
Marcella Turner, representing the obligee respondent, Mr. Andrew Scabora Jr.
Okay. Your client is not present, is that correct?
No, my client is present, Your Honor. There is a Andrew Scabora III and Andrew Scabora Jr. Mr. Scabora Jr. is my client, the grandfather.
Butch.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey, he made the fourth Andrew. There was grandfather, dad, me, and him. So we all had to go by different names. I'm sorry.
Makes sense.
All
Makes
right.
sense.
And Ms. Turner, I thought we got rid of you.
You would be happy to see me.
Okay. And representing the Attorney General's office.
Luis Regla.
All right. Court will note that the non-custodial parent, Andrew Joseph Sabora III, was personally served on July 14, 2021 at 11:15 a.m. at 161 Maryland Street, West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. He's not filed an answer. And the mother, Brittany De Leon, was personally served on May 11, 2021 at 2:59 p.m. and she has not filed an answer. Both were given further notice of this hearing by certified mail. Return receipt requested. Miss De Leon, the mother's certified mail was delivered February 17th, 2022. And the father, Mr. Sabora, his certified mail and notice was delivered on February 24th, 2022. And they have not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct, Mr. Rega?
That's correct, Judge.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you. I'll start by calling Mr. Butch Scabora.
Yes, sir.
The child lives with you, correct?
Yes, sir.
And has been living with you at least since the last 7 years. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And the mother and the father have both chosen to pretty much not be in the picture at all over the last 7 years. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And you've actually been the person together with your wife that has been acting as a sole manager or making all the decisions how to raise this child without the help of either the mother or the father. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And going forward, you believe that would be in the child's best interest, that you continue to be the sole managing conservator,
100%.
and that both mother and father be appointed possessory conservators? Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
At this point in time, given that the father actually lives out of state and there being no request for it, there is not going to be a geographic restriction as to where you can move to. Would you also agree with that?
Yes, sir.
And even though the mother and the father have chosen to not be involved in the child's life, going forward, should they ever want to start a relationship with the child, with Hayden, would you agree to some kind of modified schedule that would be able to gradually bring them back into having a relationship with Hayden?
100%.
And
Yes.
you believe this modified schedule we are including this proposed order would be in Hayden's best interest, given their
Yes, sir.
involvement? Okay. And right now Hayden has Medicaid, is that right?
Yes, sir.
We don't know what kind of income either the mother or the father have, so we're requesting to use minimum wage guidelines to set the cash medical. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So cash medical support against each of the mother and the father of $57 a month beginning April 1st. You believe that would be in the child's best interest?
Yes, sir.
Now, up until this time, you have been able to take care of this child completely without either of the father or the mother giving you any sort of financial help. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Given that special circumstance, and in order to try to not discourage their involvement meeting with Hayden and becoming parents to Hayden, you think it would be the best for Hayden right now that there not be child support set against either the mother or the father?
Yes, sir. I just think that that would give them more of a cause not to get in contact, and we don't need the money, and it would be best for him later. Yes, 100% agree.
Okay, and in addition to that, there's no kind of request for any kind of retroactive child support against either the mother or the father. Would you also agree with that?
Yes, sir. There's no, we don't want any back child support.
Okay, and you believe all these things would be in the best interest of Hayden going forward?
Yes, sir.
And you're asking the court to approve of this default order against both the mother and the father?
Yes, sir. I want him to be back in his life again, and anything that doesn't discourage it. My wife and I think, that's what we believe in.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Judge, I'll pass the witness now.
Ms. Turner, you have any questions for Mr. Scabora?
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes.
Mr. Scabora Jr., how did Hayden come to be in your possession?
Oh, about the same time since we started taking care of him, there was a CPS placed him in our custody because there was an abuse situation with him that he spent a couple days in the hospital, and we've had him ever since then.
Okay. And you've been caring for Hayden financially with you and your wife alone without any assistance from the parents. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in regards to the future, if you were to, or if Hayden were to participate in any sort of exchange student programs, or even just to take family vacations, what is the likelihood of you being able to get in contact with both the biological mother and biological father to sign off on passports? Do you think that's something that would be feasible?
No, that I don't have really any contact with them.
And as a result of that, are you asking this court to award you with the exclusive right to apply for a passport for Hayden, to renew that passport and maintain possession of his passport at all times?
Yes, ma'am.
Furthermore, you were provided with the guideline child support amount that was calculated during negotiation purposes. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that guideline amount for both Ms. De Leon as well as your son, Mr. Scabora III, was calculated to be at $217. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you just testified a few minutes ago that you were in agreement with the child support being set at zero based off of a deviation from the guideline amount. Is that also correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand, and I myself have spoken with you about the ramifications and how that affects later modifications in the future should you choose to proceed and ask this court to order that it be set at zero for both the mother and the father. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had an opportunity to speak with me and ask me any questions regarding the child support amount or anything else in this order, the terms of this order, at any time or throughout the negotiation process today?
Above and beyond, ma'am. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
And you understand completely what the terms of this order entail. Is that also correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe the terms of this particular default to be in the best interest of Hayden?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to go ahead and approve the terms of this default order as it relates to Hayden?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions for this witness. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Regla?
No, Judge.
Anything further, Ms. Turner?
No, Your Honor.
All right. The court will approve the order submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Judge.
much, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
Good to see you, Marcella.